Here we go.
I trust you on that.
Yeah, we're good. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to NewOaks AI Podcast. This is Leland Best of AIO Chatbots with my good friend over here, Ray Luan, coming to us from over there in Shanghai, China, the CEO of NewOaks AI. Welcome to the broadcast, Ray. How are things in China today?
Yeah, thank you, Liam. Everything's great. It's just the weather is a little bit hot, and other than that, I'm pretty chill. I'm well prepared for the webinar every day and the product updates that we have every week. Yeah.
We're moving, aren't we? We're moving ahead every day. It seems like Ray's got an announcement on his Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram letting us know what new feature he's added to the setup. So I just want to talk briefly for a moment about why we're here. Ray and I kind of came together over the year back in late 2023. I'm a chatbot builder by trade. It's what I do to run my agency over here as a marketing agent, as a consumer of chatbots, as someone who uses AI himself. And Ray thought it'd be a good idea for us to come out and announce when new features are coming to the system, be able to help people understand them better, and let you ask your questions live to the development team while we're here. So, and when I say we, I'm just here representing NewOaks as an ambassador. I don't work for NewOaks in any way, shape, or form. I run my own agency. So I'm just here to help Ray out with the broadcasting end of things. So Ray, tell them a little bit about what's going on right now over at NewOaks so that people understand why we're here.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Leland, for the intro. Well, that is a good question. The reason that I built NewOaks is actually last year, 2023, ChatGPT was so popular and become a buzzword, right? Everybody was excited about AI, but it's only a hype. I mean, what I observe is that the majority of the general people, right? The business owners, they know AI is good, they know AI is smart, but they actually do not know what AI can do for them. So that is a phenomena that I observed, and I think it's an issue that needs to be addressed, because actually AI cannot do much yet for business owners until up to now. So I see that is an opportunity. The reason I say that is because one of my friend is also my first customer. She's a real estate agent in urban California.
Yeah.
She has a lot of customer and leads coming every day. And she hired a real person assistant, right, to engage with the customers and collect the lead and make appointments. But she learned about ChatGPT, she learned about OpenAI, but she does not know how the AI technology can help her in her daily operation, because she's not technical at all, right? She doesn't know much about programming or coding. So I think that's the difference perception between AI professionals like me, myself, my team, and Leland, and also the general business person or professionals, right? Actually, when I dive deeper to AI, I found out that you need to understand the prompt engineering, right? You need to understand the basic principles. How does AI work, and what is transformer model? What's a large language model? There's so many things you need to understand before you know what you can do with AI. So, and that's what I saw. And also I read a lot of analysis report, like up to now in the AI business, the number one application for all the AI, the 2C apps, to consumer apps, is AI companionship. Emotional value.
Yeah.
That's number one app, right? The number two is AI generated image, and the number three is AI video editing, and that's it. That's the top three AI apps that actually was widely used by people and paid by people. Those are the only three categories or or buckets that business can survive. Other than that, all the other fancy tools, it doesn't matter Sora or Sora was hard, right? And then Gemini and Cloud, doesn't matter what tools you are, right? And what fancy tools, maybe some people mentioned about, oh, I can build a virtual assistant who can help you book a ticket, right? For flight, for hotel, for traveling stuff. Those are startups, maybe they raise a lot of money from the venture capital firm, but they still are losing money. So even there's a rumor that OpenAI can only survive for another 12 months because they're burning a lot of cash. They burn $5 billion of cash payment. Well, I can see that it could be a rumor, but it tells us a brutal truth is that no one knows how to use AI, right? Doesn't matter you're a professional, you're a white collar professional, working in the office building, or you're some smart programmers. I mean, no one knows, even especially for business owner. So that's why I said NewOaks' mission is to bring AI to automate your business. That is very simple. There's no fancy words or concept inside it. I just want business owners can use AI to automate the whole process and product activity, hopefully get more leads, more appointments, and reduce costs. So that's how I build. That's why I started build NewOaks.
Yeah, and I love it. And we do have someone already conversing with us out here. We've got Step Ahead Web out saying hi, guys. So welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for that. We do have 6 concurrent viewers out there watching today. If you want to participate in the conversation, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can leave comments in the feed. We will put them up on the screen if we can. Otherwise, we'll at least talk to you about what's going on in that feed so that we can answer your questions. So let's move on, Ray. We only got a short period of time out here with everybody. So for our first segment, we were going to talk about the trends that are going on in AI right now. OpenAI's got a new search GPT, and Meta Llama came out with release 3.1. So tell us a little bit about both of those, Ray. What's happening over at OpenAI?
Yeah, I think AI recently released Search GPT. I think that's the number one thing that Sam Altman always wanted to do because he always wants to compete with Google, right? But the way I see Search GPT is that my estimation is that eventually it's going to replace Google in certain way, maybe after 5 years until 10 years, not very soon. The reason is that because Search GPT and Google Search are totally different products. So Google Search is a searching tool. It gives out whatever you want to search. It lists out all the links that you want to search, and if you want to answer into different links and browse it and digest by yourself, right? But Search GPT, from my understanding, is going to give you answers directly. So it's kind of like an answer machine, right? Whenever you need answer. So, but the challenge is, I have to say the challenge is what the challenge is. The challenge with search engine or answer engine like Search GPT is that people do not know what question to ask.
I see that all the time, Ray. Even I don't sometimes. I sit there and I ask myself, well, I just asked you to do this simple thing and you didn't do it like I asked. So what did I say wrong? And what I don't realize that I should do a lot of times is simply ask GPT how I should prompt it. It's something that I learned in the very beginning. It's like it knows what it wants to be asked in a sense, because that's how it's been trained. It was trained to respond to certain key factors, key prompts, key drivers that were going to move it ahead. And you can even ask it, okay, what would be the best way for me to initialize this prompt to tell you to do something? It's how we train our bots. We ask an AI to train another AI to create a prompt so that we can then generate a really good artificial intelligence interface. So it works really well.
Yeah. So the opportunity that Search GPT has is that with prompting engineering technology or with the transformer model, it can actually feed information. right? Initiate the first information instead of passively, waiting for the information from the visitors to ask. So I think that is the opportunity because it solves the problem that people do not want to ask. I can see that when I build NewOaks AI chatbot, right, and they that on the right lower corner of my website, a lot of people go there and just had to click the suggested message or what's news and what you can do for me, right? So they do not know what questions to ask. Yeah, as a matter of fact, asking question is the most difficult is most difficult feature of human being, right?
True.
So if you can ask a question, you're definitely a good CEO or a good developer in your own field, right?
I like the way you
So
put that, though. It's the humanity of us that keeps us from really understanding the level of intelligence we're working with, because it's well above our own. Obviously, the IQ of an AI bot is like 10 times our own intelligence and going higher every day. So it's one of those things that we kind of compete against our own inner self in this. It's not about, it's more of our own lack, and we have to start to train ourselves in what to do next. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, what are the
So,
potential implications of that then for businesses and developers to have a GPT search answer engine like that versus a search engine like Google?
well, yeah, the implication I think for business or for developers, things that how are we going to be prepared into the search GPT era instead of the Google search era, right? I think data plays a big part in that because Google actually you can search almost everything online, all the knowledge that which is listed um, on internet, and also the training data on the whole internet since the inception of the internet, like 60 years ago, has been used up. The data has been used up. It's gone. I mean, so moving forward, evolution, the evolution of AI or GPT, they will need more and more high quality and more confidential data, which is the business data that we own as a business owners. So I think the key is how to make our business data, our we call private domain data versus the public domain data. How can we make data more valuable, right? Either in the sense of make data be searchable by search GPT or make data only be searchable by our members of the members of your business. So I think we need to think about how our business data can play a role in the evolution of AI technology in terms of the model, right? I think in the future, whoever owns a high quality data one will definitely going to be sustained in the AI in the world of AI. So let's do more things about the data and make them more structured and maybe make it more searchable by searchability. So that's my view.
Yeah, and I found an interesting announcement too by Elon the other day about his big farm that he's putting together for AI, which he mentioned 100,000 NVIDIA GPUs in one stack. That's quite an achievement that he's shooting for over there. And I can only imagine, is that what you're referring to though? Is like the ultimate LLM? Is that what Elon's really shooting for? The one place everyone's going to find an answer to the solution? I mean,
yeah, I think that what Elon was talking about is in the future the knowledge or the data will be generated in real time.
Yeah.
Now the data was saved, was stored in a hard disk, right? And Google just get it from somewhere in a hard disk. But in the future, the data was not saved somewhere. It will be generated in real time. Whenever you need the data or the knowledge will come out. So I think what Luan was referring to is that he probably need a huge, a gigantic, hard disk and GPUs to save all the data that human species that generated since since we have internet until up to now. And the second thing, I think what he was up to that because Elon Musk, he owns Twitter, right? He has all the data of Twitter, and he also has another data that nobody else has is the Tesla data. You know,
Okay.
Tesla has 8 cameras shooting videos every single day. So he's probably the only one has the both text-based data and the video or image-based data and can put them together to train the model so that the model can be the real AGI to understand the physics, the law of physics of how um, the world runs or plays. So I think only he has the data up to now.
That's crazy. So and that's
Yeah,
just the capabilities that we're shooting toward. I mean, it's really, there's an unlimited potential here in this space right now because we really don't know
yeah,
what we're reaching for. We're still
yeah,
reaching that pinnacle point and we don't know where it ends.
yeah.
So what about Llama? Meta's got its newest 3.1 405B, they call it, is the
Yeah.
release. And you can find that over on llama or ai.meta.com. They have a blog post up. It looks like this. So if you want to find out the latest about introducing Llama 3.1 and its most capable model, go take a look at the takeaways. There's also a nice little benchmark chart there showing in comparison against Claude 3.5 Sonnet, GPT-4 Omni, and the latest GPT-4, along with Nematron 4, which one is one that I'm not familiar with. So we'll let Ray discuss what's going on over at Llama. What's happening there, bud?
Yeah, I think Llama is the latest model that Mark Zuckerberg just released to compete with GPT-4o and also Cloud 3.5 Sonnet.
Mhm.
Well, obviously, Llama has 3.1 has like 405B parameters, right? It probably has the longest has the largest group of parameters. But from the business perspective, I would say Llama is not for small and medium business yet. Llama could be for the enterprise. I mean, the big enterprise at
Mhm.
least has like $100 million revenue every day.
Sure.
You know why? Because even though I didn't even test whether Llama, I mean, 3.1 is better than GPT-4o or not,
Mhm.
because the cost of doing the test is huge.
Yeah.
And you have to run like 10, I had to have run like a 10 NVIDIA GPUs, right?
Oh, okay.
And as a base, right? At least like 1 or 2 months to fine tune the llama. And secondly, you need to prepare really high quality data sets to train the llama model in order to make it work. And also, you doesn't matter how good your data is, you're still running a risk that the models may not work for your business.
Mhm.
So I would not spend too much time on open source. It's not that open source model is no good. It's that open source model is for large enterprise. It's not for SMBs from the cost perspective.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
I want to do fine tune, I would definitely go with GPT-4 or mini fine tune, which is much cheaper, so that we only need to prepare the data set, the high quality data set about our own business, and then train the model. So that's my view. I think Llama is good, but it's not for us yet.
Yeah, I get it. And I've seen videos where an individual can simply sit down with a Linux box, a PC even, and any M1, take the
Mhm.
Llama build and build your own
Mhm.
internal LLM. It doesn't take long. It actually only takes a couple of hours to set it up and get it running and have it answering questions for you. But the fact of the matter is, it's something that has to be maintained. And
Yeah,
unless you have the IT know-how and glitz to be able to
yeah,
get in there and to handle the security aspect of it, handle the access aspect of it, and continuously train it to be accurate, then
yeah,
sure, go for
exactly,
it. But it's going to take a big team to
exactly.
do that. So that's not what we
Yeah,
shoot
the
for.
hallucination is the issue, right? If you cannot get rid of hallucination, you cannot use it for business. But I can see that a lot of my colleagues in AI business, they use Llama open source model to train if they're in the AI generative image business.
Mhm.
So the image one, the picture to create like more creative picture like Midjourney does, right? So that business is okay because you do not need accuracy. You need as hallucinating as you can. because you want more,
Yeah. More
imagination.
variety. Yeah, you want
Yeah,
imagination.
variety and the imagination, right?
Creativity
Yeah,
has to bound. You can't bound creativity. You have to give it free
yeah,
flowing ability. So yeah, that's great.
yeah.
I just want to touch on a couple of the comments out there, Ray, real quick. We've got Gary Gordon under the Step Ahead web out there. Thanks for that. We appreciate it. Tech Flows here wants to know if we can go through and provide a tutorial for setting up chatbot with NewOaks to make sure only the goals of the businesses are addressed. Well, that's mostly the prompting. I can address that in some regards, but that is something that Ray's actually working to reiterate a little bit within the system, and that's our ability to pre-train the bot with our own business data within form templates and other processing methods that he's considering to do just that. So Ray, you want to kind of touch on how we can keep it in line with the business that's being addressed for the bot?
Yeah. So it's a good question though. I think right now there are two perspectives. One, I'm working on the tutorial videos and also the document guide to make it more easy to access, easy to use. And secondly, my next step is to build different templates for different business vertical or industry. For example, if you're e-commerce or real estate, I'm going to build a template that you can grab it and use it without even to know how to prompt. So right now we still need to do some prompting, but I'm moving forward. We are going to release a lot of templates. I mean, probably 100 of templates,
For
so that you
various
can just
niches. That way
yeah,
we can just plug it in and make it happen, right?
exactly, just plug in.
That's
Yeah,
good.
what I
And
think what eventually business is a plug-in service, not a tool that they need to learn
yeah,
to use,
exactly.
right?
And I didn't mean to interrupt the flow there with a question like that, but that was one that we do want to address because I've been the one that was kind of assigned to do a lot of these tutorials. I've been lacking to a lot of personal events that have taken place in my life over the last couple of weeks. So I apologize to everyone out there watching the broadcast. We're catching up. So we will be doing that over the next few days. Just want to touch on Hilton Davidow because he's asking about the future developments that we can look forward to, and that's coming up very soon. First, we want to touch on the mission. Well, before we go into that, what do you think? You mentioned that having a open source build like Llama is really an enterprise level thing. So as far as potential applications for that, where do you really see, besides enterprise, open source being used as a main set or feature set for people in business?
Yeah, I think the only use case for open source model is that whenever the cost of using the cost of open source LLM model be reduced up to even a small and medium business can afford.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time when we reach that point. That's one that I will probably use open source to train the large language model for business, because
Makes more sense.
as I said, I think eventually every single business needs their own model,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yep.
a chatbot. I think we eventually, everybody owns his own large language model. So that either to be an open source one or someone like something like ChatGPT, not open source, and closed source one. Yeah.
And I think that the widget is really just giving us that first touch point, that
Yeah.
ability to converse with AI for the first time and know this is where we start. We start with these simple conversations through a little widget until we get it, until we know what more we can do with it. And that's when we can build upon that and build better interfaces.
Yeah.
All right, segment 2 for today is just going to really cover a post Ray did earlier for all of you. If you're in the community, go take a look at the poll. We're kind of developing a true mission statement for NewOaks AI, along the sense of even a tagline that we could use out there in the open public for people that are learning about NewOaks. So let's reiterate that mission a little bit, Ray, and talk about how we can bring AI automation to businesses. I really like that concept over just a chat bot. We're not here to just, do Q&A. We're not here to just book appointments. It's much more than that. So tell us what the mission statement could be.
Sure. Yeah, sure. It's good discussion. Actually, I put out the mission statement as a discussion with all of our customers that I think from, I thought about how I started the business. And also I was thinking about every day that when I interact with my customers, I realized that a lot of questions came out because of that they do not know how to use AI. So eventually, the mission statement really means that, one day, let's say, after like, 2 years, 3 years, maybe after like we go to IPO, or when the AGI era arrives, right? What business will use AI to do eventually? I think the only reason that business use AI is just to to automate everything, right? To release the human from the repetitive works, and that's it. And to allow the human really to do whatever he likes to do. So I think eventually everybody will own his own agent, like real virtual agent can handle everything. But before that happened, but what reality right now is our AI can only answer questions. That's it. Only answer questions and generate some fancy images and videos, and that's it. But answer questions is I see that's an opportunity to build a product like chatbot, right? And what chatbot do is answer questions. But moving forward, by answering questions, we can collect more demand or needs of customers, right? Collect more parameters and then pass on the data to the backend. So to these, CRMs or APIs to, get external data. So that's what we're building right now. Build a tool to equip the chatbot with tools. That's Flow Builder, right? Then after we implement the Flow Builder, then I will start work on the multiple agents so that whenever you have a different separate task, you can assign a independent agent, AI agent to do that. So then all the different enterprise or SMBs will have a fleet of AI agents or AI employees work for you, but to automate everything from the first touch point of the customer acquisition with customer until the final appointments or final transactions. So that's how it can I can see it will do for business. So we're not just building a chatbot.
I agree. And just to cover on a couple of the other comments, we talked about hallucinations briefly. Hallucination is what happens when a chatbot goes off the rails and it basically doesn't know how to answer, or it answers inappropriately. It uses various information, ties it together in the wrong way, and comes up with a poor answer. So that's really what a hallucination is. TechFlow also asks, please provide some prompts that we can use in this case. Can this be expected, especially if businesses do not fall into your template as a business model? Well, fortunately, there's some of us on the back end working on just that type of option into the system, which may be incorporated soon if Ray wants to work it in. And that's prompt builders. We have automations that are actually using AI components to create a master AI that works and talks to a worker AI that takes all the information you have about your business, your client, your avatar, what you want to call your bot, all that type of stuff, and generates the actual business style lengthy prompt that would be used to target your bot to be specific to your business. So that's in the works, just stuff coming down the road. So let's talk about stuff coming down the road. Ray, what's NewOaks? We're running out of time real fast, or we're at the 10:30 mark already. And typically this is going to be a half hour, 45-minute broadcast at the longest. So let's get into it. What's coming next? What are the latest feature updates? And I'll push a screen share or two as we go, just so people can see where it's located in the system, right?
Yeah. So what's coming next is that we finished in the past. We finished some tutorials and document guides for payment system and stuff. And together with my interview with our current customers, I'm gonna dive into two verticals. One is real estate, and the other one is e-commerce. So I really want to make NewOaks AI chatbot work seamlessly within your workflow, and doesn't matter you're e-commerce owner or real estate professionals, right? I want to create value for you. So, and two more features. I want to make the e-commerce website, right now we just scrape the data, but and you have to manually move the data to the Google Sheets template in order to get better or more accurate answer, right? But I want to make one click. So you just need to enter the URL with one click. We'll turn the script data into a Google Sheets template, and you do not need to do nothing. And then we use Google Sheets to train the bot. The purpose is to make the most accurate answer for an e-commerce chatbot. And the same thing, we'll do the same thing for real estate. For real estate, you can grab a link with Zillow, right? You put all of your properties on Zillow, and then put the URL onto the data source. And then one click, we're going to train the URL, the data from the URL to use the data from the URL to train the chatbot so that the chatbot can search, recommend your properties, and do the pricing quotations and all of the stuff.
So let me ask you a question with that, Ray. It sounds like then you're going to a website on Zillow, for instance, it's scraping the site, it's parsing the data so that it can determine what data it should pull from the website to put into a pre-formatted template that you've already established as a training process. So it's pulling, parsing, filling, and then working its magic from that point on to actually train the bot.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's the two major features that I'm working on right now. And also for the missed call testback, that's another pain point, right? So remember my first customer, Jessie, the real estate agent, she put up her property listings on Zillow. And when someone call her through Zillow blocked the number. And when she missed the call, she does not know the number who called me and cannot call back. So with that feature, so my purpose is that to reduce the number of missed calls or to let you know who called you through Zillow or other property listing website, just to recover the number of leads that you lost during the whole process. Yeah, so that's
Now that
missed call.
requires a pool of phone numbers, right, in order to distribute the
Yeah.
SMSs out from your end.
Yeah.
So you're providing a
Yeah.
pool that we'll see the
Yeah.
number on our end, but it's not anything
Yeah.
assigned to us as an
Exactly.
individual. Oh, that's
Exactly.
cool. Like it. What
Exactly.
else we got? With the guide document for the third-party payment system that has already been done by you, Ray. I'll probably
Yeah,
do
it's
a more Americanized version just for the sake of those. That we'll do them clean. We're working on much more clean tutorials. But again, when we're in a state of flux like this, where everything's changing and advancing and moving forward, things change really fast. And to put all the tutorials together all at once is kind of a loss factor because then you've got a bunch of stuff that's going to change in a couple of weeks. Yes, we want you to understand it and know it, but we want you to have an archive of what's going to remain too, so that there's no question how things function. All right, let's move on. So with the upcoming guide, what are the benefits for integrating a third-party payment system into NewOaks?
Well, the benefit is that you can, because some customer mentioned that the Stripe does not work in their own countries, right? Other than the US. I know both PayPal and Stripe work in the US, but some Southeastern countries, Stripe doesn't work. Yeah. So they like to use other payment system like PayPal or Lemon Squeeze, but Lemon Squeeze was acquired by Stripe, unfortunately.
Like Authorized Net, and there's some others out there too.
Yeah.
A lot of different payment gateways.
There are a lot of different payment systems out there.
So another one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. And we allowed you to build up the price plan and also use other payment system to collect payment and pass on the data through API to NewOaks backend so that we allow you to use your own payment instead of our payment accounts to collect data and the payment subscription.
And in order to do so, Ray, in a case like this, I'm showing the screen right now as to where the payment gateway switch is located, and that's underneath the workspace management under white label, because this is an option only for the white label owners to be able to bill out clients within their sub accounts. So the options are to have the AI agent automation payment, which is on Ray's dime. He's charging an additional fee to process those payments for you, which is nominal. It's expected in any case when it comes to a merchant account. And in the third-party payment system, you're using your own payment gateway, such as PayPal or Stripe. You have to use the payment URL and enter it here. You're also going to have to go to your local system that you're going to use and decide which header is going to be required by that system to drop in with Ray. And then the verified payment API has to come back, which you'll get from PayPal or Stripe, so that they can respond appropriately back with the NewOaks to PayPal, let them know that the payment was processed. Otherwise, there's going to be a conflict in payment processing. And then if you don't want to charge anybody at all, you simply switch to the no payment, and you could take your own payments with a PayPal link or whatever you want to do on your website with a PayPal button or something of that nature as well. So that's about it. Right.
Yeah,
Thanks for that, Ray. All of us white label owners do appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to do that. Yeah, and I'm going to release new guide documents which you can use third-party no-code platforms like IQ Pieces and to connect the API to your payment system. So it's a more practical version of the documents. Yeah.
Okay, let's get on. We got about 5 minutes left with Ray here, so he can get back to what he's doing. We covered the myths called text back feature, and now we've got some templates as far as industry-specific templates. You mentioned scraping Zillow. You mentioned having the ability to fill these property listings automatically. What about e-com? Is that going to be the same in a sense, or is there anything different about those two templates that we should be aware of?
Yeah, so e-commerce is the same thing. Actually, I interviewed like 2 customers already. So if you're an e-commerce owner and one of my customers using WooCommerce, right, to build e-commerce website. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to build a tool that get the data from WooCommerce or Shopify and then use that to convert to the data format of Google Sheets, and then use the data from Google Sheets to train the chatbot. The same process. Just the goal is to make the e-commerce data more structured so that the chatbot will give more accuracy and less hallucination when it answers questions from the visitors.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. And that does. Now, could that be utilized, Ray? I'm just curious because if someone who's using other database systems such as AI Table and maybe Airtable, or maybe some of these other API builds that are going on where we're simply building component AIs or APIs on the back end, do you see the bot being able to connect to those databases as well? Is it just a webhook that we're talking here, Ray, really, when it comes down to it?
Yeah, so 2 ways. One way is that through webhook. Actually, I think the goal is to integrate all of the most structured data sources, right? You mentioned that AI Table or Airtable, they're very structured data. I think that's much easier to use to train chatbot. So right now you can always use the webhook to gather the data source, and maybe in the future we're going to integrate with Airtable or AI Table to just have a native integration to pull the data, the structured data, and use that to train the chatbot. Yeah. So the structured data source actually is the most critical components when it comes to the accurate answer machine that we're going to build the NewOaks AI chatbot for, right?
I like it. I'm impressed with this one-click button idea of being able to just go and train a website and produce a document that you could even reference. You know, you can go back and use that Google Sheet for your own contextual data because you're creating a database scrape. It's not just a training scrape like most of these bots do, which still develops a database, but you're building a database in your own, structure. All right, Ray, let's recap. We kind of recapped on everything here. So let's go to OKR for August. Where are we at? What's going to be the discussion of goals that you're going to conduct? We've got some interviews we want to do. You want people to talk to you. Plus, we want to interview some of you guys. What's going on out there? How are you using the bot? How can we help you use the bot? And what ways are you using it that we didn't expect you to use it? Let us know so that we can tell everybody how they could use it. Ray, got some ideas?
Yeah, cool. So in my OKR, objective key results in August is to interview up to like 20 customers, including our existing customers or prospect customers, right? Just to get a sense of what is your business about and what problems or challenges you're facing, and how do you want the UIs to solve your problems, right? To answer those, I mean, to solve those challenges too, and how do you want to automate your work process and to be more productive. So that will help me to build more to make NewOaks AI chatbot more practical and provide real value to your business, not just another chatbot builder, right, pops up in the competition. So I really want to use AI chatbot to be part of your daily operation and make it generate more leads or appointments or revenues. So that's the whole perspective. So feel free to email me or DM me, email at to support@NewOaks.ai. Even though you are not a NewOaks customer, I mean, you're welcome. I would like to know about your business, your use case, and how AI can help you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's pretty easy to find, Ray. Just head over to NewOaks.ai, look on the website. There's plenty of connections there for Discord as well as Ray's support team. There's also a neat little feedback feature on the website if you haven't seen it yet. And I would really appreciate those of you who are running into issues with the website or having problems as you move ahead. There's that big red button off to the side. If you simply click on that button, it takes an instant screenshot of where you're at within the site. You can give a summary, what it took to replace or reproduce the problem you may have had if you can, and then what the actual result you wanted to see would be versus the expected result. So you want to kind of go through that process to get a better handle on any of the bugs that are experiencing within the system. Speaking of bugs, I want to apologize to all of you here. I run into my bugs as well sometimes. Today was simply a matter of when you start a demonstration and you don't realize you left your mic down because you were coughing before that demonstration. You realize that you went through the whole thing and people didn't hear you. So I just want to take that moment to say we're going to go through this. As soon as I close this feed, the video will be repaired. You'll be able to watch the full replay in its entirety with my voice in the first edition because it was recorded on another channel. And we'll go from there. So let's see what else we got. I see no other questions. If you got them, bring them fast because Ray's got to go. And I got to let him because I can't force him to stay. He's got things to do. Ray, you want to leave any parting words with everybody this week from the AI perspective? What should we be thinking about this week?
Yeah, so I think we pretty much cover most of the topics, and I'm going to release all of the features that I just mentioned. So yeah, we'll dive into real estate or e-commerce as a sample verticals business, so that we can do better. So I'm looking forward to talk to you guys for more use cases, maybe Airbnb or roofing service website, whatever you have.
Yeah, bring the word to the community. Come to the feeds, go to the page or the community group that is available as a private group, of course, but leave those comments. Let us know you want to be on the show. Even we can bring you on to this broadcast if Ray wants to do it in that fashion. We could bring a third guest in here and have a little conversation about what you do with the bot and how you apply it to your business. So thanks again, Ray, being here like you always do and opening up that door for us to be in contact with you and learn more about NewOaks every week that you're here. So thanks.
Thank you, Lidan, for the hosting. And thank you, everyone. Look forward to see you guys, Lidan and folks next week. Okay?
All right, guys. Take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time at 10 a.m. Tuesday at NewOaks AI.
See you next. Bye-bye.